Real talk, real conversations, real impact. This is Naija Pulse, where gist meets for governance, for the culture, for the future. My name is Becca Beckins, and I am your host. I'm not sailing the ship alone. I've got with me my incredible co-host, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
And I am Adinla, your co-host on the Naija Pulse Podcast, where we unpack trends buzzing the social media space. Let's dive into this.
So many tongues are wagging about the KWAM 1 versus the KWAM 2 saga. There's so many things that I want to say about it. But one thing that I know that they lack is emotional intelligence.
Of course, because I feel these two situations would have been managed more professionally if the airline staffs were people that could handle their emotions. Especially in the case of KWAM 1. Look at KWAM 1 displaying the old shenanigans. But imagine a situation where the pilot could handle our emotions. The situation would have been handled in a more professional way.
I agree. I'm just thinking how that situation could have turned out. He could have been crushed by the airplane, and that would have been his reputation.
A murder case aside, yeah.
And it's crazy. And speaking about Comfort Emerson, how our situation turned out was very, very unfair, and I'll say it's an injustice to her. If she was also emotionally intelligent and could put her emotions in check, it could have turned out differently. And I'm also thinking about the air hostess as well. A lot of times, those people are so upfront and confrontational.
Now, this is where emotional intelligence and mental health check need to be in place. Now, you see, for the case of KWAM 1, I think he acted too overboard because somehow he was behaving like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I know? And all of that. That was what got into his head. But then, when we talk of emotional intelligence, being professional, and being able to handle situation, I think the cabin crew were also at fault, especially the pilot in the case of KWAM 1, and now the air hostess in the case of Madam Comfort or Miss Comfort.
I agree. There's this term or description when it comes to Nigerians on social media. They say Nigeria is filled with anyhowness. Anything can pass. People feel like they can get away with anything without repercussions, and it's crazy. But I feel like they should have just been reprimanding of Comfort Emerson, the air hostess who misbehaved, KWAM 1 and the pilot, so that there would have been a unison of punishment, in my opinion.
For the balance, that's why you're saying
I
that.
agree,
because
I agree.
Now, it feels like KWAM 1 was not sent to Kirikiri, but Comfort Emerson was sent to Kirikiri because she does not know the who is who in the Nigeria
I
space,
agree.
yeah.
But speaking about the solution, a lot of people have aired their opinion. I have to commend the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo. He has, brought all hands on deck, done his investigation, and tempered justice with mercy.
His rapid response really needs to be commended.
Oh, top
honestly.
tier. And now the news says that he has conferred with AON to lift the lifelong ban against Comfort Emerson
and reduce that of KWAM 1.
Yeah, to 1 month. And he has also said that KWAM 1 has to be like the ambassador for proper security protocol.
That's where gender bias comes in. If you are making KWAM 1 an ambassador, what happens to Comfort? Would you also make her an ambassador?
Oh, absolutely not.
Is it now another topic where when people misbehave, they become ambassadors of...
You remember the situation that happened with Naira Marley?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is crazy. But not only is Festus Keyamo the one putting all hands on deck, I have to give kudos to Michael Achimugo as well, who is the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection in NCAA. He has, done proper investigation, has told people that were on that flight to send details of everything that happened so that he could handle situations as well. And he has also said, if you have issues with local or international airlines or situations when you're, on board, you should tag him and, he will handle it.
Now the question is, are you sure these people will get compensated where their rights were breached? Because I look at the case of Comfort. Come on, nude was released because in the case of Comfort, does she have a case, or would there be any means or any way to compensate her? Because
she has a case.
I think of the kind of damage this thing will cause to our psychology.
Mentally,
it will cause a kind of long-term stigma, if not a lifetime stigma,
I agree.
person. Yeah.
Because if you release someone's images of their private parts without their consent, it's a crime. So I hope that they are not only saying they will investigate who released the video on social media. I hope that they catch the person and charge them to court.
Then, Becca, talking about the transformation in the aviation sector, I think this is really remarkable, and we must give kudos to the president for this, because recently we've seen news of 12 new domestic airlines getting licensed, and this is something to be applauded. Yeah. But then, as much as this is a welcome development, I think training of personnel should also be prioritized, because if you look at the case of KWAM 1 and KWAM 2, as the case may be,
I love it.
yeah. Now, if we add more professional personnel on board, I think they would have handled that situation in a more professional way, and this whole matter wouldn't have escalated up to that extent.
I agree.
Now, if we are talking about 12 new airlines getting licensed, are you sure in the future we will not be having cases of KWAM 3, 4, 5, 6 up to KWAM 12?
You make me laugh. Oh my God. So I'm going to pull up data to actually answer that question, because there's been grand work that has been undergoing. And guess what? Over 3,000 aviation personnel are being trained, or have been trained rather, locally and abroad. So there will never be a case, hopefully, of any KWAM 3, KWAM 4, KWAM 5. You know, there'll be mental checkups, emotional checkups, and they'll be trained on how to deal with, you know, very unruly passengers. Because people cannot pay over ~1 million naira to board your airline, and they are seeing you squeeze your face. And that's the case of this Comfort Emerson's Saga. But yeah, these people are well trained, and they would ensure that none of this ever happens again, because reputations of airlines are on the line as well. And speaking about more airlines, did you know that our international airports in Nigeria are being upgraded to Category 2 safety standards? So I have to give kudos to Mrs. Olubumi Kuku, who is the first female MD of FAAN.
Is this
way it's fair? This is a women dominating.
Is this women supporting women?
Yes, I whip my hair back and forth. Women, see, give a man a home, he makes it a home. Give a woman a house, she makes it a home, and generates revenue and brings blessing and grace. And this is why we are seeing results like this. This is what you call substantial data.
Well,
5 international airports being upgraded. Do you know what it means to be upgraded to Category 2 safety standards?
that is highly commendable. That is
top
highly
tier.
commendable.
Kudos to her, man.
That is highly
Olubumi
commendable.
Kuku, take your flowers. First MD of FAAN.
Highly commendable.
I love it.
And I think with all of these data, that justifies the reason why we're having 98 billion naira in private investment. Come on, think of the employment opportunity this would create.
Make money.
This is amazing.
Make
This is
money.
amazing.
Take people
So
off the streets.
If we keep having this kind of progress in Nigeria, in no time we would stop having cases of we are hungry. Their jobs is just left for you as a Nigerian to go pick up a job.
I agree. And guess what? They're also generating revenue as
Of
well.
course.
And with substantial data, I'm bringing this thing your way, so that when you're having conversation about the work being done in the aviation space, you have factual data from us here at Naija Pulse. So according to the data, 19.7 billion naira has been generated in revenue, and it has exceeded their target by 23%. I think this deserves a standing ovation and a round of applause.
That is amazing.
Money flow, money flow, money flow.
I hope in no time, soonest, Nigerians will begin to feel this relief economically, and we'll stop hearing cases of we are hungry.
Everybody's hungry, but when you enter the airports, Nigerian airports, MM1, MM2, the international airport, you just be like, this is
amazing. This is lovely.
This looks like Doha Airport. This looks like Qatar Airport. This looks like Istanbul Airport. You know when you're walking through the airport and you're shopping your designer bags, your designer perfumes, it makes us, feel like, we're better than even Ghana airports. A major standing ovation and a round of applause to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Without his go-ahead, none of this would have been in play. None of this would have happened. And this success story goes to, saying that his regime is everything to write home about, if I do say so myself.
Honestly.
And there's results. We're seeing the results.
Yeah. Honestly, I think President Tinubu, in my own words, I would call him a visionary leader, because, come on, is this Nigeria? Would this so much remarkable transformation we'll be seeing in just 2 years and some months of his administration, I think this is commendable. But then I think there should be a place of accountability. Yeah, where, with this new news of 712 billion for airport renovation and all of that, there should be a place of accountability and transparency where we don't have controversial issues of this money is way too much.
Where is the money going?
Yeah, where's the money
I
going?
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But that's not to say that there are no issues on ground currently that still needs attention. Food stuff skyrocketing, the value of naira duplicating or depreciating rather, and a lot of work needs to be done by the administration. But hey, when you scold somebody, you have to give honor to whom honor is due, and we commend his administration.
And
everybody's working hard.
At the same time, on the case of the value of the naira, I think for the last 8 months, the naira has also witnessed a very stable.
It's been stable. I think dollar to naira now is about 1,500. Yeah,
and that's been stable. That gives investors confidence.
Well, people earning in USD, then they cash out like standard. But hey, it's all good.
This is amazing. Investors will be
happy to invest.
They are motivated to, because they know, okay, this is the value of this naira is stable for now. I
agree.
So if we keep making progress at this rate, I think in no time, the future we dream of is near.
Nigeria is evolving, and tomorrow will be better than today.
Yeah.
Shout out to KWAM 1 and KWAM 2 for making our tongues wag and making everybody have diverse opinion. And major shout out to and kudos to Festus KWAM, or the Minister of Aviation, for working so hard to make a lot of these things possible. Nigeria is great in this administration, and it will be better by the end of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration.
And special shout outs to Naija Pulse for bringing this your way.
We are your host, Becca Beckins.
And I remain my humble self, Adela.
And we'll be back again. Remember, this is Naija Pulse, where gist meets with governance, for the culture, for the future. We'll see you again.
Bye.